करदा अच्छा किए किछि पाइले कि हमर ये कोन हेटा जो कोर्स सिलेबस किछि मिलला कि
ना सर
ठीक अछि ठीक So yesterday we have gone through the fundamental concept of remote sensing, what remote sensing is. Then we have also gone through different component of remote sensing. What are the things that is required to complete a remote sensing setup? Then we have discussed all different component in detail. Then we have discussed what are the major advantages of remote sensing. Okay, so remote sensing, as we have discussed in last class, that is collection of information, any type of information. Generally, in remote sensing, that is collecting information through an instrument which do not have a physical contact with the object under study. तो जनरली आम कौन कहूँ सेटा दूररू रहीकि पर्यवेक्षण करवा ओडिया रे जदि आम बुझियाको जाउछु सो कलेक्टिंग इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन एनी ऑब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम ए डिस्टेंस इज रिमोट सेंसिंग देन कंपोनेंट रे आम देखिले कि व्हाट आर द मेजर रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर रिमोट सेंसिंग तो रिमोट सेंसिंग पय कोन दरकार मेजरली गोटे इंस्ट्रूमेंट दरकार हमकु जो थ्रू रे कि आमे डाटाटा कलेक्ट करि परिबा तापरे डाटा कोटी डिटेक्ट हेबो कोटी स्टोर हेबो then what is the energy that is required because our eye that need an energy that is light energy. Like that the instrument of remote sensing also need a source of energy. So based on the source of energy, if that energy releases from the machine itself in the remote sensing instrument, then it will be active remote sensing or active sensor. And if the source of energy that is required to collect information that is from other than the instrument, then it is passive remote sensing. Okay. Then in advantages, हमें देखिथिले कोन the major advantages कि quick collection of data. Then the area of study can be very large. बहुत बड़ा एरिया रे हमें study area हमें नहीं परिबा. So within few hours we can collect information about the area, about different geographical aspect, what is the area of different land use and land cover. So that can be easily calculated. So those are the major advantages of remote sensing, that is covering a vast area. Then different aspect of uh, a different character of the object under study can be which cannot be the information which cannot be collected through any other means, like what is the amount of water that is present in vegetation or the leaves. Suppose you have 100 acres of some plantation, okay, suppose paddy or any type of cash crop, and if you are just an single person who are the responsible for the field, ହେଲା ତମ ପାଖରେ ଧର 100 ଏକର ଗୋଟେ ଜମି ଅଛି, ଆମେ ଯୋଉ କହୁ କି କମର୍ସିଆଲ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚର, ଓକେ, କମର୍ସିଆଲ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚରରେ ତମର 100 ଏକର ଗୋଟେ ଜମି ଅଛି ଆଉ ତମେ ନିଜେ ସେଟାକୁ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟବେକ୍ଷଣ କରୁଛ, ହେଲା, ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଦ ସୋଲ୍ ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସିବଲ୍ ପର୍ସନ୍ ଫର୍ ଲୁକିଂ ଆଫ୍ଟର ଦ ଫିଲ୍ଡ। ତ କୋଉଠି ପାଣି କମ ହେଲା, କୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ ତମର ଗୋଟେ ପେଷ୍ଟିସାଇଡ୍ ଲାଗିଛି, ହେଲା, ସୋ ଏଇଗୁଡାକ ଏକ୍ସାମିନ କରିବା ଭାରି ଡିଫିକଲ୍ଟ। Okay, so what you can do, you can take a drone. In the drone, you can keep an instrument which can collect information on the basis of what is the amount of water that is present in leaf. সেটা কেমতি দেখা যাই পারিব, যদি আমি খালি আখিরে দেখিবা, you can also know that কোউ পত্রটা କିଛି pesticide ଲାଗିଛି, କୋଉ ପତ୍ରରେ କେତେ percentage of ପାଣି କମ ଅଛି, because there will be variation in the color of the leaf, ହେଲା। So like that, the instrument which will be mounted on the drone, ହେଲା, ସେଇଥିରେ ସେଇ ଭଳିଆ ସେନ୍ସର ଆମେ ଲଗେଇବା ଯେ କି କଲେକ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବ କି ତାର ସିଗ୍ନେଚର କଣ ଅଛି, ସେଟା କେମିତି ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି, ହେଲା, because the color of the leaf will be different in leaf where water is abundant, where water is insufficient, ହେଲା। ତ ତାକୁ ନେଇକି ଆମେ ଡେଟା ପ୍ରୋସେସିଂ କରିପାରିବା। So within just a 15-minute of flight of drone, you can get the data, you can get the image of your 100 acres of field, and you can identify where you need water, which portion of your field is affected with any kind of pesticide. So these are different applications. Somewhere in your syllabus you will have application also. तो एइथिरे आमे बहुत गुडे कोन करि परबा, बहुत बड़ एरिया रे आमे बहुत कम टाइम रे we can collect information. So that is what is the major advantage. Okay, so again, what other advantages this remote sensing has? Remote sensing not only operate in the visible range, खाली हमें देखिथिले electromagnetic spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum रे हमर बहुत गुडाय कोन अछि, बहुत गुडे wavelength अछि, and different wavelength can provide you data of different category. Like in night you cannot see through visible ray of wavelength, because रात्रे हमको देखा जाए नहीं, ହେଲା, किंतु infrared, ହେଲା, जो माने वीडियो गेम किछि खेलथिबो से माने जानथिबो कि ये जेते बेले माने you have to look during the night, you can use infrared ray, ହେଲା। तो सेथिरे कोन, सेथिरे तुमको इमेज टा जेंति जनरल देखा जाए सेमति देखा जीवनी, बट यू कैन कलेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन नाइट विजन रे जोटा काम करा जाए। तापरे आउ कोन, हमरो एनी ऑब्जेक्ट व्हिच हैज टेम्परेचर अबव एब्सोल्यूट जीरो, एब्सोल्यूट जीरो माने माइनस केते डिग्री गोटे, होला, जदि ता ऑब्जेक्ट रो टेम्परेचर 0 डिग्री रु अबव अछि, then it radiate heat, होला। So if any object is radiating heat, then you can collect information in thermal band, होला। Thermal band कोन, thermal band can provide you data in thermal or what is the temperature of the object. Okay, so these can be easily collected. Hala. Suppose you want to collect what is the temperature of a forest. Okay, so how could you go to each corner of the forest and collect the temperature? ହେଲା। So the thermal band ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ଆଖିରେ ଯୋଉ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ବ୍ଲୁ ଗ୍ରୀନ ଆଉ ରେଡ୍ RGB ଯୋଉ କହୁଛେ ଏଇ ତିନିଟାରେ ଆମର ସବୁ କଲର ଆମେ ଦେଖିପାରୁଛୁ ସେଟା ହେଲା ଭିଜିବୁଲ ବ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ। ଏମିତିଆ ବ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ଥର୍ମାଲ ବ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଆମେ କହୁ ଯୋଉଟା କି କଣ କରେ ବା ଥର୍ମାଲ ସେନ୍ସର ଥର୍ମାଲ ସେନ୍ସର ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟର ଟେମ୍ପରେଚରକୁ ସେ କଲେକ୍ଟ କରିପାରେ। ହୁଁ ତ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଟେମ୍ପରେଚର କଲେକ୍ସନ କରିପାରିବ ସେଇଥିରେ ଆମେ we can map the temperature of the region. So we can collect temperature of a large region. We can collect temperature of a small region also. So the thermal band can provide you data of temperature. So this is what the remote sensing has a very vast area of application. ଖାଲି ଆମେ କଣ ସେଇ ପୃଥିବୀ ପୃଷ୍ଠରେ କଣ ଅଛି ତାକୁ ଛାଡ଼ିକି ବି ଆଉ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡ଼ାଏ ଜିନିଷ ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ କଲେକ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବା। And even one of the biggest application of remote sensing is you can identify कि କୋଉ ଲେନ୍ଟା କୋଉ ହିସାବରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହଉଛି। ସପୋଜ ଆଜି ଗୋଟେ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟରେ ଫରେଷ୍ଟ କଭର କେତେ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଜାଣିଲୁ ହେଲା। 5 ବର୍ଷ ଗଲା ପରେ ଗୋଟେ ସର୍ଭେ ହେଲା ସେଇ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟରେ ମାଇନ୍ସ ବାହାରିଲା ହେଲା। ତ ମିନେରାଲ କିଛି କୋଲ ବାହାରିଲା କିମ୍ବା ଆଇରନ୍ ବାହାରିଲା। ଓକେ, ତ କୋଲ ବାହାରିଲା କିମ୍ବା ମିନେରାଲ ବାହାରିଲା ତ ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ମାଇନ୍ସଟା ଖୋଳା ହେବ, so what was the condition before the opening of mine and after opening of the mine ହେଲା। ତ ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଷ୍ଟଡି କରିକି you can calculate the exact area କି ଯଦି କିଛି ଫରେଷ୍ଟ ଭିତରେ ମାଇନିଂ ହେଇଛି କେତେ amount of forest mining ହେଇଛି। Then suppose government order the company, actually there is rule कि ଯେତେ କିଲୋମିଟର ବା ଯେତେ ଏରିଆର ତମର ଫରେଷ୍ଟ ଗୋଟେ ମାଇନ୍ କଭର କରିବ ହେଲା ବା ଡେଷ୍ଟ୍ରୟ କରିବ ତାର ଡବଲ କିମ୍ବା କେତେ ଗୁଣ ସେ ଫରେଷ୍ଟେସନ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ଗଛ ଲଗେଇବାକୁ ତାକୁ ପଡିବ। ଓକେ, ତ you can also monitor ki what was the actual area of forest that has been planted by the industry. So that can also be monitored in real world. Okay, so these are the different application of remote sensing. Hmm. Other than that, also you have various uh, application of remote sensing when you integrate these remote sensing through GIS or geographic information system. Okay, so today we will go through the electromagnetic radiation, how electromagnetic radiation, or what is the mechanism behind remote sensing, how these kind of information is being generated through remote sensing. That will be little bit, we can say, critical, but nothing to worry. Everything is simple if you keep a very layman, you can say, approach ହେଲା ସବୁ ନିଜ ଭାଷାରେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବେ, ତାପରେ you can write it in your own language. I will also provide you some kind of material that is required. Okay. Yesterday we have also discussed about some of the platform. Hmm. So if you are able to see the video, you can see these are the different platform. এটা ଆମର ground based platform କୁହାଯାଉଛି, ଦୋ ground ରୁ just ଟିକେ above ଗୋଟେ crane ସାହାଯ୍ୟରେ এটা এটা ହେଲା the sensor. These are the sensor. Okay, these are the sensor and it is sensing the crop field. এটা କଣ କରାହଉଛି, এটা testing କରାହଉଛି, ମାନେ satellite ରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ସେନ୍ସରଟା ଲାଗେ ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ତାର କ୍ୟାଲିବ୍ରେସନ ସେଟା କୁହାଯାଏ ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ ଟର୍ମରେ, ବା କେମିତି ସେ ସେନ୍ସରଟା ପରଫର୍ମ କରୁଛି ତାକୁ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ এই ପ୍ରକାର ଟେଷ୍ଟିଂ ଗୁଡାକ କରାଯାଇଥାଏ। এটা ଗ୍ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ବେସ୍ଡ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମର ୟୁଜ। ଦେନ୍ ଏୟାରବର୍ନ ରେ କଣ ଆସୁଛି, ଆମର ଏୟାରକ୍ରାଫ୍ଟ, ହେଲିକପ୍ଟର, some kind of high elevated balloons, drone ହେଲା, ଏଗୁଡାକ ଆମର ଏୟାରବର୍ନ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମ ଯାଉଛି। ତାପରେ ସ୍ପେସ୍ ବର୍ନ ରେ ଆମର ସ୍ୟାଟେଲାଇଟ। So this is a basic process in remote sensing. Basic flow chart in remote sensing, you can say that data acquisition. ପ୍ରଥମେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଡାଟା ଆଣିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। It is collection of data. Then processing, you have to process it. Suppose you took a satellite image of Odisha, then what is according to your objective, you need to collect the image. Suppose you want to study how Chilika has changed over 50 years. ହେଲା ଚିଲିକା କିପରି ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଇଛି 50 ବର୍ଷ ମଧ୍ୟରେ, ତ 50 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଯଦି ସ୍ୟାଟେଲାଇଟ ନାହିଁ ତ ତମେ ଜାଣିପାରିବନି, ବଟ୍ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଅଲସୋ କଲେକ୍ଟ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଟୋପୋସିଟ୍ ହେଲା, ତାକୁ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ କମ୍ପେୟାର ଇଟ୍, ବା କିଛି ଯଦି ଲୋକାଲ ଲେଭେଲରେ ସର୍ଭେ ହେଇକି କିଛି ଇମେଜ ରହିଛି ତ ତା ସହିତ ଯୋଉଟା ଆର୍ଲିଏଷ୍ଟ ଇମେଜ ଲାଇକ୍ 1980s ରୁ ତମକୁ 80 ରୁ ମିଳିବ, 90 ରୁ ତମକୁ ମିଳିଯିବ। 90 ରେ ତମ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡସେଟ୍ ଟା ଅପରେସନାଲ ଥିଲା, ତ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡସେଟ୍ ରୁ 1990 ରୁ ଡାଟା ମିଳିଯିବ। 1990 କହିଲେ ବି it is before 30 year. So 30 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆଉ 30 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ କିପରି ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଇଛି ତା ପାଇଁ ତମେ satellite image ଦିଟା ନେଇପାରିବ, 30 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବର ଇମେଜ ଆଉ କରେଣ୍ଟ ଇମେଜ, then you can know what is the change. then ତାକୁ ପ୍ରୋସେସିଂ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ହେଲା, ସେଟା କୋଉ ଜାଗାର ଇମେଜଟା, ସେଟା ଇମେଜକୁ ସଫ୍ଟୱେରରେ ପକେଇଲେ ସେଇ ଜାଗା ଦେଖଉଛି ନା ନାହିଁ, ଦେନ୍ ଆନାଲାଇଜ ହେଲା, କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଫିକେସନ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟେଟିଭ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ ତମର ହେବ, ତାପରେ ଏକୁରେସି ଆସେସମେଣ୍ଟ ହେବ, କେତେ ଏକୁରେଟ ସେ ଇମେଜଟା। ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନରେ ରହୁଛି ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ୟୁଜ ମ୍ୟାପିଂ ହେଲା, ଯୋଉଟା ଏବେ ଆମେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ଡିସ୍କସ କରିଥିଲେ କି ହାଉ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଆର୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜିଂ। ଓକେ, that is land use mapping. Then weather forecasting, natural hazard. In natural hazard it is very useful, like gote area re flood hela, okay, flood high, the highest influence जोटा जेबे थिला बा आउटबर्स्ट फ्लड रो जो थिला सेटा केते एरिया जाए पानी जाइथिला, एटा गोटे थरकरे तमे सेही दिन सेही जगार सैटेलाइट इमेज नै गले जानि परिबो हला। तो जेते बेले नेक्स्ट ईयर ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ ହେଇପାରିବା କି ଏଇ ଯାଏ ପାଣି ଆସୁଛି ବା ଏଇ ବର୍ଷ ଏଇ ଯାଏ ପାଣି ଆସିଥିଲା, ଏଇ ଏରିଆର ଏଲିଭେସନ ବା ହାଇଟ୍ ଏତିକି, ତ ପାଣି ଏତିକି ଆମାଉଣ୍ଟରେ ବର୍ଷା ହେଲେ ଏତିକି ଦୂର ଯାଏ ଯାଇପାରିବ। if we will have the information then we can build our measures of mitigation. ଆମେ କୋଉଠି ଘରଟା କେତେ ଏଲିଭେସନରେ କଲେ ଆମ ଘରେ ପାଣି ପଶିବ ନାହିଁ, ଯଦି ଫ୍ଲଡ୍ ହଉଛି ଆମେ କୋଉ ଏରିଆରେ ଆମେ ସେଲ୍ଟର ହୋମ୍ ତିଆରି କରିବା। Okay, so these can be easily studied. Okay. Then resource exploration, ବହୁତ ଗୁଡାଏ remote sensing ର you can say application are very vast. Okay. Source of energy, source of energy eta hela, and the principle of radiation. So you must have been questioned that the electromagnetic spectrum, जो radiation, what is the basic difference between electromagnetic spectrum and electromagnetic radiation? Spectrum माने the bunch of wavelength that is in sunlight or light. କୋଉ କୋଉ wavelength ଗୁଡାକ ରହୁଛି ତାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ spectrum. Okay, radiation, the propagation of these light, that is what is electromagnetic radiation. And why it is called as electromagnetic radiation, not just a radiation or movement? ଏଥିରେ କ'ଣ ରହୁଛି, ଏଠି ଦେଖ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରିକ ଫିଲ୍ଡ ଗୋଟେ ରହୁଛି and magnetic field ଗୋଟେ ରହୁଛି। ୱେଭ୍ କାଲି ମୁଁ ଦେଖାଉଥିଲି ତମକୁ ୱେଭ୍ ଲେନ୍ଥ, ତ ଏଠି କ'ଣ ହଉଛି ଦିଟା ଏଣ୍ଟାଇଟି ରହୁଛି ହେଲା, ବା ଦିଟା କ୍ୟାଟେଗୋରୀ ଅଫ ପ୍ରୋପାଗେସନ বা মুভমেন্ট গোटे सहित होची गोटे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड और गोटे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है and both are perpendicular to each other. That is why it is electromagnetic radiation by electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so the distance between two consecutive crest or trough, देखो एटा the distance between two consecutive crest पूरा टॉप मोस्ट पॉइंट दीटा आपको कौन लिखा है जी वेव लेंथ ए चिन्हटा हला लैम्बडा the distance between two successive wave peak आपको crest कुआ जाए the top of the wave or wave peak crest और आपको anticline भी कुआ जाए परिबो ज्योग्राफी भाषा रे आमे जोटा माउंटेन रो रिज को टॉप मोस्ट पॉइंट फ्रीक्वेंसी कोन व्हाट इज फ्रीक्वेंसी फ्रीक्वेंसी रो आमे ओडिया जदी कहबा कोन सेटा बारंबारता माने गोटे पॉइंट को से सेकंड टाइम पाई जो वेव आसुची सेटा केते सेकंड मध्य रे बा केते टाइम नउची सेटा हला तार फ्रीक्वेंसी हला वेव लेंथ जदी शॉर्ट अछि तो फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़िबो एंड वेव लेंथ जदी अधिक अछि तो फ्रीक्वेंसी बा बारंबारता कमियो बड़ वेव लेंथ हेले ताकू बेसी टाइम लागिवो मूव करिया पई whereas माने फ्रीक्वेंसी गोटे जगह को दी थर टच करिया पई whereas जदी वेव लेंथ बोले डिस्टेंस बिटवीन टू consecutive crest or trough if it is less then it is very the it will be very fast ताकू कहउछु हमें फ्रीक्वेंसी और फ्रीक्वेंसी कम किंबा अधिक रे that is related to energy जेतिकी हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी सेतिकी बेसी एनर्जी This is an important part of your remote sensing curriculum, and must also be a part of your study structure. That energy interaction in the atmosphere. Energy माने इटी काहे को हमें इंडिकेट करूछु द सनलाइट ओके तो सनलाइट को हमें इटी इंडिकेट करूछु व्हाट इज how energy is interacting in the atmosphere okay तो जेतेबेले सनलाइट आसुची तो सेतिर कोन होउची स्कैटरिंग होउची स्कैटरिंग माने कोन स्कैटरिंग ओडिया रे जदी कहया हमें बिच्छुरण तो जेतेबेले लाइट गोटे ऑब्जेक्ट ऊपर पडुची इफ दैट इज not smooth then light will scatter around the object hello atmospheric scattering is the unpredictable diffusion of radiation or particle in the atmosphere वो भी image दिया है scattering মানে এটা দেখো by arrow it is being shown कि direction of incident light ମାନେ କୋଉ ଆଡୁ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଟା ତାକୁ ଆସୁଛି direction of back scattering. ଓକେ, ତ ଗୋଟେ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟ ଉପରେ ଯଦି ସବୁ ଦିଗରେ ସେଟା ସ୍କେଟରିଂ ହେଇଯାଉଛି ତ ତାକୁ ରିଲେ ସ୍କେଟରିଂ କୁହାଯାଏ। ତାପରେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ସନ ରେ ହିଁ ବେଶୀ ସ୍କେଟରିଂ ହଉଛି ତ ତାକୁ ମାଇ ସ୍କେଟରିଂ କହିବା। ଆଉ ବା ସିଲେକ୍ଟିଭ ସ୍କେଟରିଂ ଆମେ ରିଲେ ସ୍କେଟରିଂ କାହାକୁ କହୁଛୁ ଯୋଉଥିରେ ପାଇଁ କି ଆମ ଏଟା the sky is looking blue, it is because of relay scattering. So if the sky is transparent, then why we can't see ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଇମେଜ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ସ୍ପେସ ର it is all black. ତ ଆମ ପୃଥିବୀ ଉପରେ କାହିଁକି ସେ ବ୍ଲାକ୍ ଟା ଦେଖାଯାଉ ନାହିଁ? why the sky is looking blue? ହେଲା, ବ୍ଲୁ କହିକି କିଛି ଅବଜେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି କି ଉପରେ? ହେଲା, ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ ଆଜି ସ୍କାଏ ଟା ବ୍ଲୁ ହେଇଛି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ବର୍ଷା ହେବାର ଅଛି ସେତେବେଳେ ବ୍ଲାକ୍ ହେଇଯାଉଛି। is there any object? କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ଅଛି କି? କିଛି ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ନାହିଁ। ଯଦି ମାନେ ଆମେ ଅନ୍ୟ ଗ୍ରହକୁ ଯିବା, can we see such type of sky, blue or white? No. ହେଲା, ଏଠି କାହିଁକି ହେଉଛି? it is because of scattering. ସେଟା ଆମେ ସାଇଣ୍ଟିଫିକ ଟର୍ମରେ ରିଲେ ସ୍କେଟରିଂ କହିପାରିବା। The atom or molecule of gases of our atmosphere scattered the incident photon or light in all direction. The probability of scattering goes like the photon kinetic and scientific ଯଦି scattering ନଥାନ୍ତା then it would have been black. As the sunlight enters the earth atmosphere, it interacts with the earth atmosphere and it scatter the shortest wavelength, that is blue. ହେଲା, visible ରେ ଯୋଉଟା ବ୍ଲୁ ଅଛି, ହେଲା, ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ବ୍ଲୁ ଗ୍ରୀନ ଏଣ୍ଡ ରେଡ୍ ଆକୁ କହୁଛୁ। ତ ବ୍ଲୁ ର ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ ହେଲା ଛୋଟ, ସୋ ଯେହେତୁ ସେଟା ଛୋଟ, ତେବେ ଯୋଉ ଧୂଳିକଣା ଗୁଡାକ ଆମ ଆଟମୋସ୍ଫିୟରରେ ଅଛି, ଆମର ସେଇ ଧୂଳିକଣା ଗୁଡାକ ସେହି ବ୍ଲୁ ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ କୁ obstruct କରିଦିଅନ୍ତି, you can say, and ଯେତେବେଳେ obstruct ହୁଏ then it start radiating. So that is why ଯେହେତୁ ବ୍ଲୁ କଲର ର ବ୍ଲୁ ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ ଟା ବା ସେଇ ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ ଟା ଆମର ଆସିପାରୁ ନାହିଁ, ସେଟା ଆକାଶରେ ହିଁ ରହିଯାଉଛି, and that is why your sky look blue. At sunrise and sunset, however, sun ray travel through longer atmospheric path. And ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମର କଣ ଦେଖାଯାଏ? ରେଡ୍। ହେଲା, ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ସବୁବେଳେ କି ଟ୍ରାଫିକ ସିଗ୍ନାଲ ରେ ରେଡ୍, ଗାଡି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ମାରୁଛୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ରେଡ୍, କାହିଁକି ସେଟା ଦିଆଯାଇଥାଏ? ସେଇଠି ଅରେଞ୍ଜ କଲର ଦେଇ ପାରିଥାନ୍ତେ, ହେଲା, ରେଡ୍ କାହିଁକି ଆମକୁ ଦିଆଯାଇଥାଏ? ରେଡ୍ ବିକଜ ରେଡ୍ ୱେଭଲେନ୍ଥ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଟ୍ରାଭେଲ ଲଙ୍ଗର ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ, ତ ବହୁତ ଦୂରରୁ ଜଣେ ରେଡ୍ କଲର ଟାକୁ ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରିବ। Okay, that is why red color is given as a sign of danger, so that from very distance a person can be aware that there is something danger in this direction. ତାପରେ ଏଟା ହେଲା ସ୍କେଟରିଂ। ସ୍କେଟରିଂ ହେଇ ସାରିଲା ପରେ କଣ ହବ? absorption. Some energy of the sun ray will be absorbed by the object. ହେଲା, ଯେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ପଥର ତମେ ଯଦି ରଖିଦେଇଛ ବାହାରେ, then it will get heat up. ତମ ଘରର କାନ୍ଥ ଗୁଡାକ ଯୋଉ ଟେମ୍ପରେଚର ବା high temperature ରହୁଛି summer ରେ, that is because of absorption of high amount of heat. But ରାତିରେ କ'ଣ ହଉଛି ସେଗୁଡାକ again ଘର କାନ୍ଥରୁ temperature ବାହାରୁଛି, that is why during night the concrete houses are warmer in summer season, whereas the concrete houses are very cold during night. And it is because of absorption. During summer, there is high absorption and there will be release of temperature in the evening. So that is what is interaction of energy with the atmosphere. So atmosphere रे जेतेबेले हमरो energy interaction होची or light is coming through the atmosphere, what are the major concept or the phenomena happening? That is scattering and absorption. Okay. Some energy of the electromagnetic spectrum will be scattered, whereas some amount of electromagnetic energy will be absorbed by the object on which it is falling. So when the electromagnetic energy is falling on a object, after absorption or some amount is absorbed into, or the temperature is being absorbed, whereas some of the light is reflected back, ତାକୁ ଆମେ reflection ସେଟା ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ. So how reflection again varies from object to object. So these are the different type of interaction of energy with atmosphere, with surface, and there is also a part how it interact with water. Sorry, I was on mute and told you. এই ইমেজটা আচ্ছা ইমেজটা দেখা যাଉଛି কি?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
ହଁ ହଁ ଏଇ ଇମେଜଟା ଟିକେ ଡ୍ର କରନ୍ତୁ। ଓକେ ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଏକ୍ସ ଆକ୍ସିସ୍ ନା ୱାଇ ଆକ୍ସିସ୍ ଗୋଟେରେ ଅଛି ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ that is in micrometer and reflectance in percentage. ଓକେ ତ ଏଥିରେ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ 0.4 0.6 0.8 ଅଛି ଏଟା ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ବିଟୱିନ୍ ଟୁ କନଜୁକେଟିଭ ଏଣ୍ଡ କ୍ରେଷ୍ଟ ଅର ଟ୍ର ସେଟା ହେଲା ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ। ଏଥିରେ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଜାଣିପାରୁଥିବେ କି କୋଉଟା ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ ହେଲା ଦ ୱେଭ ଲେନ୍ଥ ଅନୁସାରେ ଆମର କଲର ଗୁଡାକ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ କଲର୍ସ ଅଛି ହେଲା ଦିସ୍ କଲର again represent different wavelength. Okay, so how these wavelength interact with uh, different object major object एथिबा तीनटा लाइन जो दिया ହେଇଛି ହେଲା सेटा गोटे लाइन हैला वाटर पाई गोटे हैला सॉइल पाई आ गोटे हैला वेजिटेशन पाई ओके तो एइथरे तमे देखि पारुथबो वेजिटेशन रो जो अछि हाईएस्ट कोउथरे अछि ना इंफ्रारेड रे अछि ओके सॉइल एंड वाटर हाईएस्ट पीक ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टेंस कोउटी अछि सेटा आपण माने एठी टिके माइन्यूटली देखंतु ओके एंड थ्रू दैट ओनली ड्रॉ द डायग्राम तो आपण माने ड्रॉ करले ही जानि पारबे कि को ऑब्जेक्ट रो हाईएस्ट परसेंटेज ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टेंस कोउटी रहउची ओके तो इमेज टा टिके ड्रॉ करंतु Okay, the A image रे तमे देखि पारथुबो हला three different kind of signature sorry this is actually called as spectral signature. Okay, the three different type of signature is given. तो इधर कौन अच्छी dry bare soil हला because dry soil and wet soil hela oda mati they act differently hela then vegetation and water. Yeah, vegetation green and water clear. Okay, तो ଏଇଥିରେ ତମେ ଦେଖିପାରୁଥିବ ଏ ଯୋଉ dotted line ଟା water that is only from 0.48 sorry 0.4 to 0.78 0.8 ଯାଏ ବି ଯାଇନି ତାର ହାଇଏଷ୍ଟ ଟା ହଉଛି 0.5 5 ପଏଣ୍ଟ ରେ ସେଟା ହାଇଏଷ୍ଟ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ sometimes the water looks blue whereas vegetation ର peak ଦେଖ after 8 means near infrared 0.4 ରୁ 0.8 sorry 0.7 ହେଲା ଆମର ରହୁଛି କଣ visible band of wavelength ହେଲା ଏଇଥିରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖି ପାରୁଛୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଦେଖ ଗ୍ରୀନ ରେ ହାଇଏଷ୍ଟ ପିକ୍ ରହୁଛି vegetation ର ତମେ ଯଦି ଦେଖୁଥିବ ହେଲା ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ 0.4 ରୁ 0.6 ଭିତରେ 0.4 ତାପରେ 0.5 ତାପରେ 0.6 ହେଲା so if you can see the zoom image ଏଥିରେ ଦେଖ continuous line ଟା ଆମର vegetation ର ରହୁଛି highest ରହୁଛି 0.5 to point 0.5 ରୁ ଇଏ ରହୁଛି that is why it look vegetation ଟା କଣ ହଉଛି green ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି but our highest peak ରହୁଛି 0.7 ରୁ ନେଇକିରି 1.3 ଯାଏ ରହୁଛି and this is the range of infrared. Infrared को पुणे हमें division करूचु near infrared, mid infrared and far infrared. And all these three type of infrared they give us different kind of information of an object. ହେଲା ତ ଯଦି ପତ୍ରଟା ଗ୍ରୀନ ଅଛି ତେବେ whether ମାନେ on the basis of the percentage of water on the basis of percentage of chlorophyll ହେଲା we can access the health of vegetation. Hmm. And also we can access what kind of forest a region has. ଗୋଟେ ରିଜନରେ ଧର ଅଛି evergreen forest and dense forest not sorry evergreen ଛାଡି ଦିଅ dense forest ଅଛି କିନ୍ତୁ କିଛି ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ସେଇଠି ଦେଖୁଛ କି ତାର density of vegetation is decreasing ହଁ gradually ତମେ ଦେଖିପାରିବ so that you can identify the dry soil ରେ ଦେଖ ସବୁଠୁ highest ରହୁଛି 1.3 okay. So on these three basis again ଏଇଟା କୋଉ ପାଇଁ ଦରକାର when you calibrate the remote sensing sensor, then only these are being required. Okay. So this is what is how energy interact with vegetation, soil, and water. Okay. So this is all about how electromagnetic radiation interact with different object. ହେଲା। ଏବେ ଟିକେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଏ ଫଲୋ କରିବା ଏନର୍ଜି ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ସନ ପରେ ଆମେ କୋଉଟା ପଢିବା? ହଁ, yesterday I told you about different kind of resolution ହେଲା। ମାନେ satellite ଯୋଉ ଅଛି, how what is the specification of these satellite? ଯେମିତି when we are now purchasing camera, sorry, camera or mobile phone, ତ ସେଥିରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ କ୍ୟାମେରାର କ'ଣ ସ୍ପେସିଫିକେସନ୍ ଅଛି, 50 ମେଗାପିକ୍ସେଲ, ହଁ, 100 ମେଗାପିକ୍ସେଲ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଅଛି। ତ ସେଇ ହିସାବରେ ଆମେ if we will look into remote sensing, when we discuss about specification of a satellite, we talk about the resolution। ତ ଏଇ ରିଜଲ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ କ'ଣ ହେଲା, ଆକୁ ଟିକେ ଆମେ ଦେଖି ନେବା। ଓକେ, ମୁଁ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ଟା ଗୋଟେ ସେୟାର କରୁଛି, ଜଷ୍ଟ ଟିକେ ଆପଣମାନେ ଟିକେ ଲେଖି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ। ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି କି? ମାନେ ଲେଖିପାରିବା ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି? Please someone respond. Hello. 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 Hello.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି ଠିକ ଠାକ ଆମେ ସ୍କ୍ରିନଶଟ ନେଇଯିବୁ ପରେ ଲେଖିବୁ।
ହଁ ନା ନା ତାକୁ ଥରେ ଲେଖିଦିଅ ହେଲା, 1 ମିନିଟ ଲାଗିବ। ଜଷ୍ଟ ଡେଫିନେସନ ସବୁ ଲେଖିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ। ହଁ, ଜଷ୍ଟ ଖାଲି ଡେଫିନେସନ ଟା ଟିକେ ଲେଖିଦିଅ। ସ୍ପେସିଆଲ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ, ସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ। ଓକେ, ଆମର 4ଟା ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ ରହୁଛି। ସ୍ପେସିଆଲ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ, ସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ, ରେଡିଓମେଟ୍ରିକ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ ଆଉ ଟେମ୍ପୋରାଲ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ। ଓକେ, so these are 4 measures through which we can say that uh, a specification of satellite can be detailed. The first is spatial resolution. Spatial resolution टा जदि आपण माने देखिबे again it can be the word can be broken into spatial and resolution, and again spatial, the word comes from space. So spatial resolution এটা ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା କି this is the ability of the satellite to identify the object, or what is the minimum dimension of an object that has to be, so that it can be uh, reflected by, or it can be detected by the satellite. ମାନେ ଯେମିତି we cannot see bacteria and virus because our eye is not capable enough. Okay, so what is the minimum size of particle that is, or what is the minimum size of any object that can be detected by our eye. That will be the spatial resolution of our eye. So like that, what is the minimum dimension of an object? गोटे object टा केते बड़ हेले जाए सेटा satellite टा ताकू चिन्ही पारिबो. That is what is spatial resolution. So suppose we are saying this satellite has a resolution of 30 meter. माने गोटे object जदि 30 meter by 30 meter ନାହିଁ ବା 30 meter ରୁ କम ଅଛି, then ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଫଟୋଗ୍ରାଫ ଉଠେଇ ପାରିବା ନାହିଁ. ବାସ୍ ଫଟୋଗ୍ରାଫରେ ତାକୁ ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରିବା ନାହିଁ. ଓକେ. Okay, so that is what is spatial resolution. ଏଠି ଆଉ ଟିକେ ମୁଁ ଏଇ ରିଜଲ୍ୟୁସନ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମାନେ ତମକୁ ନେଇକି ଯିବି. ଇଏ କହୁଛି କି how remote sensing again give you data. ହେଲା, ଆମେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସରେ କଥା ହେଇଥିଲେ କି remote sensing it provide you generally an image. ହେଲା, ତ ଇମେଜ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ବା ଫଟୋ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କ୍ୟାମେରାରେ ଉଠଉଛୁ ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଜୁମ କରିବା ତ ସେ କଣ କହୁଛି କି ବା ତାକୁ ଜୁମ କରିବା ସେଥିରେ କଣ ହବ, ତମେ ସବୁବେଳେ କୁହ କି यार କ୍ୟାମେରାଟା ଭଲ ନାହିଁ, ଫଟୋ ଗୁଡାକ ଫାଟି ଯାଉଛି. ହେଲା, ମାନେ you can see the last pixel. ହେଲା, ଯୋଉ ସ୍କୋୟାର ସ୍କୋୟାର ଟାଇପ ର ऑब्जेक्ट ଆସିଥାଏ ତାକୁ ଆମେ ପିକ୍ସେଲ କହୁଛୁ. Okay, so that is the minimum, sorry, that is the bit through which a image is constructed. So here you can say see a Landsat image. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ତମର ପିକ୍ସେଲ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଦେଖ. What is this? এটা হচ্ছে ଗୋଟେ ଇମେଜ. ଓକେ, ଗୋଟେ ଇମେଜରେ ପିକ୍ସେଲ କାହାକୁ କହୁଛୁ ଆମେ? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କୌଣସି ଇମେଜକୁ ଆମେ ଜୁମ କରୁଛୁ, ହେଲା, ତ ସେ ଲାଷ୍ଟରେ ତମକୁ ସ୍କୋୟାର ସ୍କୋୟାର ଟାଇପର ଦେଖାଯିବ. ଏଇଠି ଦେଖ white and ଟିକେ ଗ୍ରେ ତମକୁ ସ୍କୋୟାର ଦେଖାଗଲା. That is the last level of the image, or that is the single component through all the whole image is constructed. Okay, ତ ଦେଖ ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ କହିଲା ଏଟା ମାନେ ଧର ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ଲୁରେ ଅଛି, ବ୍ଲୁରେ ଅଛି ब्लू रे अच्छे हाउस आउ रेड रो अच्छे गार्डन. ओके, तो जदि फोटोग्राफ उठा होची 30 मीटर बाय 30 मीटर टोटल साइज अच्छी. ओके, देन 5 मीटर पिक्सेल रे देखो जो जगह रे रेड एंड ब्लू आसुची सही जगह रे only a single thing will be detected. 1 मीटर रिजोल्यूशन रे तमे एई भलिया कंस्ट्रक्शन देखि परिबो. ओके, 30 मीटर पिक्सेल रे देखो गोटे थरे अछि पिक्सेल साइज रिजोल्यूशन और पिक्सेल आउटपुट बा डिस्प्ले. माने केमती देखा जीवो गोटे फोटो उठा आइछि माने एक्चुअल साइज ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट अंडर स्टडी. हला, गोटे घर आ तार चारिआडे दर गार्डन अछि, तो ताकू आमे फोटोग्राफ उठौछु. तो 30 मीटर रिजोल्यूशन रो कैमरा जदि हमरो फोटो उठेला, ओके, तार आउटपुट डिस्प्लेटा कौन देखा जाउची जेहेतु मैक्सिमम हाउस अछि टोटलटा ब्लू हे जाइछि ओके जदि 5 मीटर रिजोल्यूशन देखा जाउची देखो ब्लू आउ रेड जोउठी मैक्सिमम ब्लू अछि से टोटलटा ब्लू हे जाइछि जोउठी रेडटा अछि ओनली रेड अछि किंतु 1 मीटर रिजोल्यूशन देखो तमे क्लियरली जानि परिबो घरटा जो रीजन रे अछि सेही रीजन रे देखा जाउची गार्डनटा जेतिकी अछि सेतिकी ही देखा जाउची वेयर एज 5 मीटर और 30 मीटर रे तमे देखि पारथुबो कि एररटा रहुची अच्छा बुझी पारले कि रिजोल्यूशन बा स्पेशल रिजोल्यूशन जो कहूछु आमे ना बुझिबारे टिके ये हला मते कुह नहले माने आउ टिके ताकू एक्सप्लेन करबा आउ टिके एक्सप्लेन करिया को पड़िबो कि okay so that is all about spatial resolution now spectral resolution the spatial resolution एटी कौन लिखी जी refers to the size of smallest feature that can be detected by satellite sensor or displayed in a satellite image. It is usually represented as a single value represent the length of one side of a square. ମାନେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ satellite ର ଆମେ କହିଲେ, if we say that the satellite image resolution, sorry, satellite sensor resolution is 30 meter, ତ ସେଇଠି ଗୋଟିଏ pixel ହେଲା अर्थ सरफेस रे गोटे सेठी जदि गोटे पिक्सेल अछि, दैट मीन्स दैट पिक्सेल कवर 30 मीटर बाय 30 मीटर बा 30 स्क्वायर मीटर रो गोटे जगह से कवर करूची गोटे पिक्सेल. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्पेशल रिजोल्यूशन. ओके, तो 30 मीटर भितरे जदि गोटे सिंगल टाइप ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट रहउची, धर घर अछि, तो घर रो आइडेंटिफाई हे परिबो. किंतु 30 मीटर यदि कमिला ताहले से घरटा आइडेंटिफाई हेई पारिबो नाही. ओके, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଦେଇଛି ଦେଖ ପଲିଗନ 5 ମିଟର ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ, 10 ମିଟର ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ ଆଉ 30 ମିଟର ରିଜୋଲ୍ୟୁସନ ହେଲା. 5 ମିଟରରେ କେତେ ଫାଇନ୍ ଟାଇପ ଅଫ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫିକେସନ ହେଇ ପାରୁଛି, whereas 30 ମିଟରରେ କେତେ କୋର୍ସ ହେଲା. ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଇମେଜ ଗୁଡାକ ଆମେ କହୁ, ଯଦି 100 ମେଗାପିକ୍ସେଲ ଫଟୋ କ୍ୟାମେରାରେ ଆମେ ଯଦି ଫଟୋଟା ଉଠେଇଛୁ, ତାକୁ ମାନେ ଅଧିକ ଜୁମ କଲେ ବି ସେଟା ସ୍ମୁଥ ହି ରହେ. whereas ଯଦି 5 ମେଗାପିକ୍ସେଲ 10 ମେଗାପିକ୍ସେଲରେ ଆମେ ଯଦି ଫଟୋଟା ଉଠେଇଛୁ, ତ ସେଟା ଯଦି ଜୁମ କରିବା ତ ସେଥିରେ ଏଜ ଗୁଡାକ ସ୍ମୁଥ ଆଉ ରୁହେ ନାହିଁ. that is what is spatial resolution. then spectral resolution. okay, there are some people who are color blind. Okay, they cannot identify or differentiate many color or the different shades of color. Okay, so their eye is not capable to identify, or their eye is not able to differentiate between two different color. तो सेटा हमें कहि परिबा कि spectral resolution is the ability to differentiate different color. What is the ability of a satellite sensor to identify different color? Refers to the ability of a satellite sensor to measure specific wavelength by color of electromagnetic spectrum. Then radiometric resolution. So that is what is spatial resolution. Okay, so now radiometric resolution. So the data that you capture, then you have to store the data. 30 meter resolution ro आपण माने सेतरे आपण सैटेलाइट सेंसर रे डेटा कैप्चर करले. Okay, then spectral resolution. आपनको spectral resolution identify different color. Okay, different wavelength. Then how these information are captured, how these information are stored. That is radiometric resolution. So radiometric resolution refers to the number of possible data file value in each band indicating the bit. It is the ability of a sensor to detect difference in energy magnitude. Sensor with low radiometric resolution are able to detect only relatively larger difference among energy, and sensor in high radiometric resolution are able to detect relatively smaller. ହେଲା ମାନେ ଯାହା ଡିଟେକ୍ଟ କରିଥିବ ସେଟା ତମେ କେମିତି ଷ୍ଟୋର କରୁଛ 2 bit image and 8 bit image ତମେ ଏଠି ଦେଖିପାରୁଛ. Okay, the 2-bit image and 8-bit image, you can see that 2-bit image re jo fineness or the detail in the image is very low, whereas 8-bit image tamara details bahut besi ଅଛି. Okay, then temporal resolution. Temporal resolution re temporal resolution re it is what the ability of satellite to revisit the area next time. So temporal resolution is the time taken. Suppose a satellite has visited Odisha at 10 a.m. on 1st of December. So the same area, Odisha, when the satellite will revisit the same region. Suppose on 1st of December, the satellite has taken photo of Odisha. The second time it visited Odisha on 10th of November, 10th of December. So there is a 10-day gap between second visit. So their temporal resolution is 10 day. So what is the time required for a satellite to revisit the same place is temporal resolution. Temporal resolution refers to time between image taken. The capability for satellite to provide image of the same geographical location, uh, the frequency of the frequency of image taken of the same geographical location is known as temporal resolution. So again, these four type of resolution are you can say very important in terms of examination point of view also, because ଏଇଗୁଡାକ ମାନେ short question ରେ ଆସୁଥାଏ ହେଲା. An example of temporal resolution, spatial resolution, spectral resolution ଏଗୁଡାକ ବି ଆସେ. Spatial resolution ଟା ପ୍ରାୟ ଆସେ. ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ରେଜଲ୍ୟୁସନ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଲେଖିପାରିବେ. ମୋ ପାଖେ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଡକୁମେଣ୍ଟ ଅବଶ୍ୟ କି ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ specification of different satellite. Okay, ମୁଁ ସେଟା ଟିକେ ଦେଖେଇ ଦଉଛି ତମେ ଲେଖି ଦେଇ ପାରିବ otherwise you can take screenshot and you can write it down because ବହୁତ ଗୁଡାଏ I refer to so many different type of material ତ ସବୁ material provide କରିବାଟା ବି ମୁସ୍କିଲ ହେବ okay you can take a screenshot or you can write it down because all material cannot be provided. But I guess the coordinator should provide you some kind of course structure or material. যদি ହେଇପାରୁନି, then I will also talk to your coordinator to formulate one structure and as well as some material. I will be sharing the screen and you can take screenshot or you can write it down. You can see that different satellite mission has been taken by government of India. In this, you can see Bhaskar 1 in 1979, where microwave radiometer is being used. Then IRS, IRS 1A, 1B, where you have list one multispectral. Okay, we will discuss about these. What are these list, multispectral, hyperspectral? Okay, here you can note down the resolution 72.72.5. Then swath is distance of the distance of the total covered area. Okay. So you can note down these things. Okay, that is what is the specification of sensor. Okay, resolution, that is special resolution 72.5 meter. Then list 2 36.3, sorry, 36.25 meter. Then list uh, 3 23.5 meter. You can get free data of list 3 multispectral data, which is of 27.5 meter and 70.5 meter of, sorry, 141 kilometer of SWOT. Okay, so I hope that you have written all those different type of resolution, and I hope that today you have gone through these. Today we have gone through different kind of resolution and the interaction of energy with water, with vegetation, and with soil. Okay. So that is all for today. Tomorrow we will discuss different application. Huh? And what else? Tomorrow, tomorrow we will all discuss about what are the different measures to take to make your data uh, accurate, how to obtain different kind of data. Okay. So those are the things we will discuss in next class. That is all for today. Thank you.